The Room That Should Never Be Opened, The Forbidden Chamber of Rajasthan. Introduction. Deep in the heart of Rajasthan, hidden within the grand corridors of an ancient haveli, there exists a room that has been locked for over 200 years. No one dares to enter it. No one speaks of what's inside, because those who have tried to open the door were never seen again. This is the story of the Forbidden Chamber of Rajasthan, a room so cursed that even the royal family who owns the haveli refuses to speak its name. The history: a door that should never have been built. The haveli, built in the 1700s, belonged to a wealthy noble family. It was filled with lavish paintings, gold-plated furniture, and courtyards so large they seemed endless. But one thing stood out: a massive wooden door, bolted shut with thick iron chains, in the north wing of the palace. No servants were allowed near it. No one ever spoke of it. Whenever a curious guest asked about the room, the only answer they received was, "That room does not exist." But one night, a young servant did the unthinkable. She stepped too close. She pressed her ear against the door, hoping to hear what was inside. And then she screamed. The next morning, her body was found frozen in terror, her eyes wide open, her fingers twisted as if she had tried to claw her own face off. She was dead. But the worst part: the door had started bleeding. A dark red liquid seeped from the cracks, staining the stone floor beneath it. The noble family sealed the door with more iron chains, adding a warning to never, ever touch it again. The curse awakens. The archaeologists who went inside. In 1988, a team of historians and archaeologists visited the haveli, determined to uncover the truth. Despite warnings from the locals, they broke the chains and entered the room. What they saw was beyond human comprehension. Inside was a dark, cold space, filled with ancient symbols carved into the walls. In the center of the room lay a small wooden bed, and upon it, a human skeleton covered in dust. But it wasn't the skeleton that terrified them. It was the faint sound of breathing. The moment one of them stepped forward, the door slammed shut behind them. The villagers heard screams, horrible, blood-curdling screams, coming from inside. When they finally forced the door open the next morning, the room was empty. The archaeologists were gone. There was no trace of them. Only their recording device remained, with one final message left behind. "It's awake. We shouldn't have come here. It's awake." What was inside the room? Many theories surround the Forbidden Chamber, but none can explain why no one who enters ever returns. Theory 1. The Witch's Tomb. Some believe the room was a secret tomb, built for a powerful sorceress who was burned alive for practicing black magic. Before she died, she cursed the room, vowing to rise again if her grave was ever disturbed. Theory 2. The gateway to another world. Others claim that the symbols on the walls were not just decorative carvings, but a portal, a door to something not of this world. The room was sealed not to trap a spirit inside, but to keep something from coming out. Theory 3. The Demon's Room. Some ancient texts recovered from the haveli tell a darker story of a demon child, born in the family but hidden away because his presence brought death to anyone who saw him. He was locked inside that room for years, until the day he simply disappeared. But his shadow still lingers inside, waiting for someone to open the door again. The most chilling part: the door is still there. Even today, in the abandoned ruins of the haveli, the Forbidden Chamber remains locked. Visitors who pass by claim to hear soft whispers calling their names, scratching sounds coming from the inside, a woman crying in the middle of the night, and worst of all, some say they've seen the chains slowly moving, as if something inside is trying to break free. Would you dare step inside the most cursed room in India? Or would you run before the door opens on its own?